Are you thinking about moving to Fishers, Indiana, but not sure where to start? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you an insider's look at Fishers using Google Maps. Whether you're curious about the best neighborhoods, schools, parks, or even places to eat and shop, well, I've got you covered. Stick around to discover why Fishers is one of the best places to call home, and I'll even share some hidden gems that you won't want to miss. Now, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Geesaman, a local Indy area resident and real estate agent, and I absolutely love making videos like this for people like you that are thinking about moving to the Indy metro area. All right, let's get started on this map tour of Fishers, Indiana. So if you go to Google Maps and you just type in Fishers, Indiana, like you can see here where I've put on Google Maps, it's going to bring up the area that shows Fishers, Indiana, and a mapped out dotted red line. You can kind of see that here. Now you're going to see little areas. Those are unincorporated areas. It's still part of Fishers. They still will go to Fishers High School, so to speak, from a school district perspective. But this kind of shows you where is Fishers, Indiana on the map, right? So we're gonna take each part of Fishers and we're gonna put it into little sections. So first we're gonna talk about East Fishers. So this is west, this is east, north, south, right? So this is East Fishers. So we're gonna zoom in to East Fishers and we're gonna kind of talk about what there is to do in East Fishers. And as you can see, as I was scrolling in, one of the first things that pops up is Flat Fork Creek Park. Now, I've talked about this, you can kind of see in the picture that popped up on the screen. There's a sledding hill that actually is also a walk-up, like it's a zigzag walk-up. If you've been a viewer of our channel, you're gonna see that we talk about Flat Fork. We love Flat Fork because you can go and you can walk around. Back here in the back, which you can't really see here, but there's trees, and so there are nature, I don't even know what they're called, but like a nature treehouse. That's the word. Treehouse. There's nature tree houses, and sometimes you'll see people where they take their hammocks and you can go and do that. So Flat Fork, very popular area. We got multiple inches of snow this year, and I'm sure Flat Fork was absolutely swamped with people. That can be good or bad. If you get there early enough, that's pretty good. But so Flat Fork, great area. Another area you're going to, I'm gonna kind of zoom in as we go here. So Flat Fork is there, and Fishers, if you can see as it pops up, there's Fishers Agri Park. So that is an outdoor, you can kind of see it's closed right now, but it's an outdoor. There is an outdoor venue where there's usually plants and activities. They're really good about holding activities for the kids there. Another great park that the city offers is the Fishers Agri Park. Also in this area, you've also got tons of new construction. So if you're someone who's looking to move to the area and really love new construction or want to have a new home, then this is going to be a great area, because this, for the most part, for the past 10 years, really has been undeveloped. So there was tons of farmland, and as you can see here, there's a lot more houses that are being built, or neighborhoods that are being built as we go out. So you can kind of see part of Fishers. This part, actually, there's a section here that is actually, they are working on incorporating as Fishers. It's currently McCordsville, Fortville, but again, those are certain areas where kids go to Fishers or HSE school districts but aren't incorporated. And so you sometimes have like an Indianapolis address or a McCordsville address, or McCordsville or Fortville. I couldn't think of the word, Fortville. Anyways, and Fortville's right there. So you can actually see how close downtown Fortville is, which, again, we haven't talked a lot on our channel, but they've got a great little downtown area, great eating. Taxman is a great restaurant in downtown Fortville, but that's a little area. So I'm gonna zoom back out. So you've got the parks. Again, new construction is huge. Also, new construction is also going to be up here by Cynthia Ann Park and some of the kind of northeast area, but we're talking just straight east. This is more southeast, 96th Street. 96th Street is kind of the street that separates Fishers from Indianapolis. So that you can see Let me zoom out a little bit more. So this is 96th Street that goes all the way across, and that's what separates Fishers from Indianapolis, but the Lawrence Township School District is really what most of that is. As you get over here, your McCoursville, Fortville, that's going to be Mount Vernon School District. So sometimes if somebody's looking at Fishers, but maybe can't afford Fishers, sometimes I would recommend Lawrence or that McCoursville, Fortville, as you can see, which is right here, which is still close to that Flat Fork Creek or Fishers Agri Park. Those are all free places to go as well. You don't have to be a Fishers resident. Another prominent landmark that you're going to find is Geist Reservoir. So you can see that that is, half of it is in Indianapolis, and then half of it is in that Fishers area. Geist Reservoir, we talk about it a lot on our channel. It is the one lake, or it's not really a lake, it's a reservoir, but there are differences, but it's a reservoir, so it's man-made. And there are beautiful houses all the way around Geist. Honestly, I think if you're wanting to live on Geist, you're at this point in time, you're looking close to $1 million. In Fishers, that of course goes up. There are houses that are $2, $3, $4 million. On the Indianapolis side, you probably can find some that are a little bit less, but because we're not Michigan and have lakes in excess, we're Midwest Indiana flat land, and so there's not a whole lot of lakes. This is one of the prominent lakes that is around the Indianapolis area. So one of the other prominent streets that I talk about, or if you come and visit the Fishers area, I'm going to mention roads or specific main roads quite a bit. 96th Street, already talked about. The other main road that I'm going to talk about is Oleo. So you can see Oleo is right here. It is kind of the northwest road. So 96th Street, east-west, right? Nobles or Oleo is north-south. Oleo is going to run you all the way up into Noblesville, which we'll get there. But I was talking about Oleo. So Oleo, there's tons of shopping and dining, mostly dining. Some of our favorite locations are on Oleo. So Pearl Street Pizzeria, which is a great pizza location. It is right here, Pearl Street. There's that. Also, Fox Garden is in that same strip, so you get to decide which dining you want. If you want pizza, they have a really great gluten-free pizza that I absolutely love. And then if you're wanting more of like the lake life, if I go down, so this is 104th Street, and then there's 96th Street. So if you go down 96th Street, so that's again that split between Indianapolis and Fishers. If I go down 96th Street, you're going to go over the bridge. That's where Wolfie's is. Wolfie's, there's the main Wolfie's is in Noblesville, but they've now opened a bunch of other Wolfie's around town, which is great because they have a really great menu. But this is where you can, if you live on Geist and let's say you have a boat, you can pull up your boat and actually visit, like grab food at Wolfie's and then jump back on your boat. It here apparently has a 4.5 stars. So apparently a lot of people love Wolfie's. Right by there is also Geist Marina. So that's where if you, let's say you don't live on Geist, but you want a boat, you can put your boat at Geist Marina. That way you can jump on Geist real quick. This is Fall Creek, which is a connector road, which I'll get to that here in a minute. But then also another pizza place that we absolutely love is Puccini's, which is right here. It's not pulling up on the actual map, but so if you want pizza or Wolfie's, that's another great little place. There's a nail shop, a hair salon, stuff there, which is really cool. But so 96th Street, if you keep going down 96th Street, this is Fall Creek Road. So Fall Creek, 96th Street turns into Fall Creek, but then it also breaks off onto Brook School Road. There's actually a restaurant right here called Salt at Geist. Amazing restaurant. It's probably one of my favorite restaurants. There's one that is downtown on Mass Ave, and there is a coffee place. There's a coffee joint right. I don't know if this one is going to actually like, nope, that's a cafe. There's Moody Meats, so you can get your meats. There kind of starts Salt at Geist. Is there Geist Coffee Company? That's what I was trying to show you. Great kind of locally owned, which is great. There is, I believe there is a workout, like a a small yoga studio that's right on the corner there. So again, I'm going to zoom back out because I want you to kind of see. So if you're living in East Fishers, right, by this flat fork, you have so many different options. You have, again, that 96th Street corridor that takes you to a bunch of shopping and or dining. Then you have Oleo Road that you can go north, which that's where we're going to go next. Okay, so as we head into what I call Northeast Fishers, which is really taking that Oleo Road, so you can kind of see, if I zoom in again, this is Oleo, right? So this was the east, north, or southeast. When you go over the reservoir, this is actually right here is where Geist Reservoir is. We've mentioned that on some of our other videos. Great local community park where there's a beach where you can take the kids. There's a lifeguard. They can swim during the summer. Really great. That's a newer amenity that Fishers offered a couple years back. And so this is, again, that Oleo Road. So you're going to go over the reservoir. And right here, this is 116th Street. So that's the second main road that I'm going to mention. That 116th Street, it actually dead ends at Oleo. But 116th Street goes all the way to Carmel. So, and further, it goes to Zionsville. Like, it just keeps going. So that is a prominent road. So 96th Street, same. 96th Street goes all the way from where we were showing you in the map here. It goes all the way, and I can actually even zoom up. So 116th Street goes all the way to, say, Carmel and Zionsville. And it's one of the things that I talk about a lot on the channel is, although we don't have mountains and clearly all the lakes and everything, you also don't have to drive around all of the lakes and or mountains. It's a straight shot. So when we have clients that move from other cities, one of the things I consistently hear over and over again is it's a straight shot. Like, you don't have all these crazy roads. And somebody mentioned to me, we were meeting with a client the other day, and they made the comment that the benefit is that to get from point A to point B, there's probably 8 different ways that you can get there. So although maybe one route has a bunch of traffic, you can take another route. So that's what I do love, because it's a lot of boxes, and I'll kind of show you that. So we're going to go back to Oleo Road. So Oleo Road, 116th Street. That's where I left off. So right at this corridor, there's tons to do. So let me zoom in. Ale Emporium, which is a wing, like, not Buffalo Wild Wings, but they're known for their Hermanaki wings, which are, from what I'm told, are amazing. I don't like that type of spice, but people love it. There's Kroger. There's, gosh, there's so much. There's a barber shop for guys. We've taken our kids. That's what pops up here is that V's barber shop. There's a CVS. There's a Starbucks. There's pediatric care. There's everything. Where we got our dog groomed was over there. Mochi Nut, which is donuts, but mochi style. They opened up a location there. Dentistry. There's a local hardware store, CVS, Goodwill. There is so much in this little corridor right here. And so again, I'm going to come back to, like, if you're living in East Fishers, you're pretty close to just about everything that you would need. You're 5-10 minute drive to just about anything. And that's what I think people love about living kind of in this corridor, because there's so much. So you can see, again, I talked about that new construction. There's a ton of new construction that's going on all in all these areas around Cynthian Park, which is another Fishers park. We talk about all the parks that Fishers offers. They're on all sides of town. So it's not like if you live on the east side, you've got to drive all the way to the west side to get to the Fishers parks. There's parks in every quarter. I'm going to hit on a lot of them today, but here's one that's called Cynthian Park. It's, again, another really great one. Britton Falls, I'm going to mention that. So I have a lot of clients where they move here and then their parents also want to move here. So Britton Falls by Del Webb, it's all built out now, so you can't build anymore. There are other builders that are coming to the area that are building, but this is a 65 and older. There's multiple pools and activities. They all get together. We've had multiple clients move into there, and they have activities going on all the time, that they have different groups. Like if you want a crocheting group or a bourbon group or whatever, there's tons of groups within that little area, and they're almost all ranches, but they range in size. If you're wanting a 2-bedroom or a 4-bedroom, they accommodate, because there's all different sizes. Some have basements, some don't have basements, but that's a really great location if you're wanting to be close to your parents, but yet have them be in a place that has a lot of activity. Okay, so that is kind of the North Fishers, but we're gonna keep going a little bit more north. So as we head up Oleo Road, again, that prominent road, you're gonna get to this intersection here, which is Saxony. So this is the Saxony neighborhood right here. And then there's Avalon, which is another great neighborhood. Very big, community pool, right across from the high school. So I didn't really address that. So along Oleo Road, right here, so you've got Kroger here, but you've got Fall Creek Junior High here, you've got Fall Creek Intermediate here, Fall Creek Elementary School, and then you have Hamilton Southeastern High School. So the majority of people, I'm making a little bit of an assumption here, which I think I'm pretty correct, but the majority of the people that live this side, or the east side of Oleo, that is Hamilton Southeastern School District. So most of your kids are going to go to Hamilton Southeastern, right? So that's where that Hamilton Southeastern High School is. Right across the street is that neighborhood, Avalon, that I just mentioned. And then right to the west of that is Saxony. So Saxony is a kind of a multi-use development, because they have all different types of homes. They have your big estates, where you have a driveway in the front and a big yard. They have condos or townhomes where they're all attached. So you would have a shared wall, but you can own a townhome and you would park in the back. Then they also have single family homes that are really close, where there really isn't a backyard, and you would you would park in the backyard, because you don't really have a backyard. So you have an alley as a kind of like a drive, and then you would drive into your property. So Saxony has a lot. The benefit about Saxony is you've got Zimmer Park, so it's your own essential park to be able to walk. Now anybody can go, I say your own park, but it's just really close, and you can take the dogs, and there's a walkway that goes around it, which is really nice. And then this is all Saxony Village, so to speak. So you've got a daycare, the play school at Saxony Village. You've got Saxony Village itself, where there's all sorts of, again, dining. So you've got Jack's Donuts, which is one of our favorites, because they've got gluten-free donuts, which is always a bonus. The hospital, so let me zoom out a little bit. The hospital's right here. So I use Saxony Hospital, but then you've also got Ascension, which is St. Vincent. So depending on what you want. Culver's is here. There's a Taco Bell that's here. There's a Starbucks that's here. Like all that is kind of that lower section. So as you head along here, right, you have all that dining, but once you go over 69, Interstate 69, then you're in North Fishers, which then butts up to Noblesville. So I'm going to kind of mention a couple things in Noblesville, because this is Hamilton Town Center. And again, if you come and visit, it's one of the stops that I have you stop at on your tour of Fishers. Even though it's not Fishers, it's Noblesville, it's still North Fishers, which is really great. Hamilton Town Center, again, outdoor mall. It's got Cabela's, JCPenney's, a movie theater, tons of dining. Duluth, you can see kind of some of the dining. BJ's, restaurant brew house, but also then there is also across the street is BJ's wholesale. So that I don't know, depending on if you're a Sam's, Costco, or BJ's fan. Costco is 5 minutes down the street. Sam's Club is a little bit further. I'll try to point that out when we go there. But this is just a hub for activity, right? There's so much going on. And if I zoom out just a little bit more, one of the things that I mentioned about North Fishers is Ruoff Music Center. For anybody that's watching that's from here, we sometimes like to call it Deer Creek, but that's that outdoor music venue that is, you guys, it's amazing. It's honestly world renowned because of the acoustics and what it is. It's really hard to have outdoor venues as good as Roof. So many people call it Ruoff Music Center. So you're so close. Again, if I zoom back out, we were talking, because I think seeing it from afar, right? So there's that Ruoff, you can see it on the map right there. If you're living anywhere from here, even if you're on, let's call it the far southeast side, you're a 15-minute drive to an amazing venue for music. So you can kind of see how close everything is. I live over by here, and for me, from here to here, it's about a 15-minute drive. If I go further, of course, it's going to be further, but I can get to, again, I live over here. To get to Fortville, it takes me about 15, at max 20 minutes, depending. If I'm going during rush hour, it's going to take me longer. But you're close to just about everything. Multiple hospitals, shopping, dining, all of that. So here we are, right? We're at Hamilton Sound Center. We're visiting there. We're going to go a little bit more west, but we're going to call this kind of Middle East Fishers because it's not quite the east, but it's more east than it is west. And that's this area right here, which is in between 37 and the east side. So again, that Oleo Road, we're going to push it a little bit more and go to Brook School Road. So that's another cross street. So I'm going to go Brook School to 37. So that's what we're going to be talking about now, which is essentially Middle East Fishers. Okay. So this is 69. This is what is 146th Street or Campus Parkway. So you can kind of see that, right? So that goes all the way down. This is considered Noblesville. This is considered Fishers. Okay. Now, so there's a section right here that sometimes people get confused because when you are on, say, Realtor.com or MyBor, it'll say that you have a Noblesville address, but this section right here, you actually would go to a Hamilton Southeastern school. So just look at that when you're looking at stuff. But 146th Street is, again, another crossroad that I like to talk about. Again, if you visit, I'm going to tell you 146th Street, 116th Street, Oleo, 37, all of those. 146th Street goes all the way to essentially Zionsville. So it's one of those major thoroughfares. I think it's like two roads both ways. So it's a 4-lane road, and then there's enough room for the turn lane. So 146th Street is a very prominent area. There's a lot of industrial that's being built along here that is on 146th Street. But like I said, we were just at Campus Parkway, so that Hamilton Town Center. But if you head, there's a couple places that I'm going to mention. One is Fishers High School. So Fishers High School is at 131st and Promise Road. So here's Fishers High School. So between Fishers High School, I'm going to show you, again, we're going to pull out a little bit. So Fishers High School is here. Hamilton Southeastern is here. Okay, so they're only about a 10-minute drive apart, but look how much, again, this is Fishers. This is Hamilton Southeastern. See how they're fairly close, but yet look at all the area that is around them. So the majority of people that live here, for the most part, go to Fishers, and the majority here and halfway, like Hamilton proper, which I didn't mention Hamilton proper. Hamilton proper is a high-end community with a really popular golf course. So that's, we're going to talk about, there's Brook School. Okay, so Brook School connects. I'm trying to connect you as much as I can. So we talked about this section right here that was over Geist, where that Geist coffee shop is. If you keep heading, this is that Middle East section. So Hawthorne's and the Hawthorne's Golf and Country Club, great country club, So you kind of have two options. You can have a social membership, which I have multiple friends that have a social membership where they go and just use the pool and the amenities, but they're not golfers. Or you can have a golfing membership. So that's really nice. It's a beautiful, if you're here and you have some time, drive through Hawthorne. It's really pretty to drive through. Again, 116th Street. I'm going to bring the attention, Brooks School and 116th Street. There's shopping, a couple restaurants, not a ton. Joe's Grill, which is kind of a bar. You'll find the college kids kind of go there. But then there's other dining options. The Firehouse is right here. Brooks School Park is another great park. Again, a local Fishers park that you can go to. Let's see if it brings up a picture. Yep, so that shows you that there's a picture of the playground. There's 2 basketball courts that were just custom painted, which are really, really cool. A dog, like you can walk your dogs, but it is also connected to a prominent neighborhood in Fishers, Sandstone. So that's this whole area, Limestone Springs, all of that. Like all of that is all here. And then you've got Gray Eagle, which Gray Eagle is on the other side. So you've got Gray Eagle all the way through here. It's another golf course, not as big as Hawthorne's golf club, but it is another golf club, Gray Eagle. So you can kind of see that Mud Creek goes through that, but all these houses, which is Gray Eagle neighborhood as well. There's also a section right off of here, which has another one of those where it's ranches. It's not considered a 65 and older, but I will say there are a lot, because they're ranches with basements, there's a lot of people that look at that or purchase in there because they want, they've got low maintenance, so you don't have to pay for having your yard mowed or the landscaping done. So that's, and there's Gray Eagle Pool. So that actually, anybody can join Gray Eagle Pool. Our kids are in swimming, and so they actually will have competitions that are at Gray Eagle Pool, which is really cool. Okay, so that's Brooks School. So that's one of the, I wouldn't say it's the middle because it's a little more east of the middle, but it's kind of one of the, again, prominent streets that runs through Fishers. So I was talking earlier where everything is kind of a box. You can kind of see here. So see how these are all boxes? Sometimes you have to go around a little bit, like there's some roads to go over the highway and stuff, but for the most part, I mean, it's just boxes. You can go through the boxes, you can like around, as in drive around the boxes, or there are some neighborhoods, like Rolling Knoll, where if you're wanting to get from 116th Street to 126th Street, you can see how you can wind through all the way instead of going all the way around. I'm sure the homeowners in there hate that I'm saying this right now, but that's why I'm saying where there's multiple ways to get to places versus just going around. 116th Street, there is also one of our favorite grocery stores. Fresh Thyme is along there. I'm trying to see it. It's right there, which is really great. The new Fishers Community Center is going in right there. They will open it's projected at this point, it'll open in November. So that's going to be a great location for people to be able to go. They're going to have a park, not a park. Well, they'll have a dog park, but they'll have an indoor play area for kids. They've got an indoor walking track that you can walk around. And then all of those things are free. Like you can bring your kids and the kids can play, but they are going to have where they've got a sauna, a gym, a pool, all sorts of things where you can join and pay a membership to be a part of that. So that's really cool. The city has been working on that for a while. There's an elementary school right across the street, which is really great. 126th Street, so 116th Street, 126th Street, and 146th Street are all east-west streets that go pretty far. Now, 126th Street ends, it essentially ends right by Conner Prairie, which we'll talk about that after a little bit. Billericay is another Fishers, Indiana park. It has baseball fields or baseball diamonds. All my baseball players would yell at me, fields, diamonds. There is playgrounds, water park. So during the summer, the city of Fishers actually has where you can take your kids to different parks, and it's kind of like a program for the kids, and which is really great, especially if you're a working parent and you want to be able to drop your kids off somewhere, but you also want it to be where it's close and local and learning something. Well, there's all different types of parks that they actually run out of Bill Rickey there in Fishers. Now that is right by Fishers High School. So there is a walking trail that actually kind of connects through to Fishers High School, which is really cool. Sand Creek, so across from Fishers, so kind of like Hamilton Southeastern High School, Fishers also has their junior high and the intermediate and the elementary school across the street. So you've got Sand Creek Intermediate and Sand Creek Elementary School right across the street, which is really great. They kind of have events that they have together. Sometimes the high schoolers will go over and help out with the elementary school, which is really cool. Okay, so we talked about 146th Street. One of the things also on 146th Street is Costco, but I want to address 37 because 37 connects with 69, so Interstate 69, dumps off 37. This is, which we'll get down here in a little bit, but this is 37. So if you go north on 37, this is Noblesville. So you've got Costco here, but up here you've got Meijer and Walmart and Goodwill and Chili's and Starbucks and Chick-fil-A. And I mean, you have so much to offer along 37. 37 then comes up to Pleasant Road and you can go downtown into downtown Noblesville. So again, from Costco to downtown Noblesville, 10 minutes. But that kind of gives you kind of depth there. Okay, so 37. Here's 37. We're going to go down 37 so that we can kind of hit on the different sides of 37 because there's so much on 37. There's tons of car dealerships. As you can see, Honda, Fishers, Kia, Fishers. Pinheads, great place to take the kids. They also have outdoor sand volleyball there, which is really great during the summer. Here's another. That's the Urban Air Trampoline location to take the kids. There's, let's see, let me go down a little bit more. So all of these shops, there's little strip malls, which I know you can't really see. I wonder if I switch over to layers. So there are strip malls all along here that have different locations or different dining and shopping. So Zaxby's, you can see there. This is a new condo community that they just built, the Woods of Britain apartment homes. That's actually here. This is different. I don't know what this is actually called. Marketplace townhomes. So these are townhomes, which are really beautiful. There is Starbucks, Jaffa Coffee, really great. That's a newer location. Sherwin-Williams, you can see there. The Urban Air Trampoline, Prime Car Wash. The UPS store is right here, which I really love because it's really easy to quick drop off all my Amazon orders. There's a new donut place here. I can't think. Parlor Donuts just opened there. Again, there's Starbucks, all the things. I'm going to go down here. Here's a Walmart neighborhood center. And then again, more little shops like workout places, dining, shopping, gas stations. There's just so much. Okay, 126th Street. That's what I was getting at. Let me go back to layers. So this is 126th Street. Like I said, it runs and ends at Allisonville Road. So let me zoom out a little bit. See how this is 146th Street. It goes all the way into Carmel, and then this is 116th Street. So these are your two main roads that flow, again, into neighboring cities. But 126th Street ends, okay, there we are. 126th Street, this is 126th Street. So 126th Street goes over the bridge and goes all the way to Hamilton Southeastern High School. But it also splits off on 131st. There's Adrenaline, so that's where K1 Speed and Adrenaline Family Adventure Park, which is really fun to take kids to. There's just so much. Okay, so now we're going to get into middle of Fishers, which really isn't middle. We're going to talk, I'm going to call this West Fishers. Okay, so we're going to head kind of northwest Fishers. I'm going to call northwest north of 116th Street. So we're going to talk anything north of 116th Street, which honestly, you guys, there's a lot. So let's start actually north. So this is 146th Street. Okay. You've got Summer Break, which is right in there. It popped up. It's like right there. That is a local, love that it pulls up a picture of a house. It is a local, pool that anybody can join. So it's not like a community pool in the sense where, I guess I should call it a neighborhood pool. So many neighborhoods like mine in Fishers have their own pool. So you will pay a certain amount in your homeowners association dues, and then you have a pool and you can go. Summer Break is different in the sense that anybody can join. So if you live in a neighborhood that doesn't have a pool, then you can join this community pool. They also have a really great swim program or swim club that your kids can join so that they can kind of determine if swimming, one, they can learn how to swim, but then two, also determine if that's something that they want to do as a sport. This is also Harrison Park. So as a neighborhood, great neighborhood, homes are probably 18, 20 years old. Harrison Park, they also have a Harrison Park park. Let's see if I can get it to pop up. It's gotta zoom out. There it is. I was not looking close enough. So this is Harrison, again, another Fishers Park that anybody can go to. If your kids play baseball in the summer, then they would go there and play games that is through the Mud Sock system. So Mud Sock is a local community of different sports that you can sign your kids up for. And so this is one of the parks that you would potentially have your kids playing at. But again, there's a bunch of trees. Let's see if I can change the aerial. So there's, all these trees, the two baseball fields. It looks like a soccer field, which they do play, but I don't normally see them playing there. And then there's like the little playground and such there at the Harrison Thompson Park. Then if I scroll out a little bit, that's Conner Prairie. That's what we were talking about. That is the essentially a historic living museum. So you go there and there are people that are volunteering as actors and are acting in the era, because there's different eras and different sections. And so they're acting as the era. It's one of my favorite places to take the kids when they were young. I still take them because I just love it. They have symphony on the prairie. So they've got bands and or groups that come and perform there, which is really great because you sit on a hill. There's fireworks, there's hot air balloon festival. They have Christmas light like tours, like where they have. So a resident of Fishers back in the day used to put up tons of Christmas lights, like a display, and you would drive by it. It was at Reynolds Farm Equipment, and you would drive and they had amazing lights. Anyways, Conner Prairie ended up buying that, and so now you can go to Conner Prairie and still see all those lights. They're adding to it. They also have, during Halloween, they have the Headless Horseman. So there is tons to do at Conner Prairie. A couple things. Oh, look, see, it shows you. There's the amphitheater at Conner Prairie. A couple things that I love. They have a summer program for the kids, so you can take your kid, again, pay to have them go through a program for a week or 2 weeks. I've heard people say they do the whole summer, which is crazy, but amazing. We sent our kids and they learn how to shoot a bow, and they would swim in the White River and crocheting, like all these different things that they would learn. And our boys loved it. The other thing that they have that I absolutely love is during the winter, they've got an indoor section where you can go and take the kids and they can play. So when my kids were really, really little and I just needed to take them somewhere to burn energy, I had a membership at Conner Prairie and we took them there and it was phenomenal. So anyways, Conner Prairie, great location. Send the kids. So much fun. A lot of neighborhoods that all connect through here. So all of these kind of connect through, but that brings you to Sunblessed, which again, I talk about Sunblessed a lot on my channel. That's because of Roy G. Holland Memorial Park. It's a pretty well known park, partially because when you walk around it, it's about a mile around, which is really great. I would get together with my friends. We would walk around, talk, and then there is a splash pad for kids as well as a playground. This is all wooded, so there are picnic tables and all sorts of activities that you can do. There is now pickleball courts, a neighborhood garden, the baseball fields, basketball courts. Honestly, a lot of people want to live in Sunblessed because they have the advantage of being able to use Roy G. Holland. But then also, if you can see here, this is downtown. It pulled up. This is downtown Fishers. Okay. So we have friends that live here and are able to walk to downtown Fishers. This park right here where you can see all this grass area. Let's see if I can zoom in. This is the Nickel Plate Amphitheater. So where Fishers holds weekly during the summer. Every Tuesday, there's weekly concerts that you can go to that are free. There's also concerts on Friday nights. And then they do all sorts of events. This is also where the farmers market is. And again, just tons to do. Okay, so we're really going to dive into downtown Fishers. This is the Nickel Plate Trail. So it used to be a train track, and they have converted it. If you are familiar with Carmel or know anything about Carmel, there's the Monon. Fishers, it's the Nickel Plate Trail. So both trails, Nickel Plate not as long, they're working on that, but it is such a great trail for, again, walking, biking, moseying down. There's tons of shopping. So one of the popular restaurants in downtown Fishers is Parks Place Pub. There's another Broken Egg. This is a circle, so you can kind of see there is, these are residents. So this is the depot. So there's apartments and stuff that you can rent. And then Orange Theory. This is the fire station. This is the municipal or community building. There's going to be a theater in there as well as a art. So Fishers City Hall, sorry, I didn't name it the right thing. That just got torn down and replaced, and now it's gorgeous. This doesn't show all the landscaping, but it's great. My office is right here by Orange Theory, but True Blood Real Estate is right there. There is a water park for the kids to play there. There is, so if you go on North Street, another favorite restaurant is 4-Day Ray. Which is a pub brewery. There's Rush Bowl, acai. There is Penn Station candle making. There is Cafe Patachou. So if you're not familiar, Cafe Patachou is one of the popular breakfast brunch locations in Indianapolis. There's a couple in Carmel. There's one downtown. There's one at Keystone at the Crossing. It's a phenomenal restaurant. Tiburones is right there. So that's a new coastal cuisine. That's a newer location. So right here's a hotel, Nickel Plate Hotel, which is a really great place to stay. If you're coming into town and you want to explore, but also want to be able to walk and eat and shop and dine and play and all the things, then that's a great location to do. So this is downtown Fishers. Again, there's so much. Crumble Cookie. You guys, there's literally so much in this little radius, and I even just started with talking about Roy G. Holland, right? This is downtown, but if I go a little bit more east, which I know I'm now going back to East Fishers, but if you go over 69, there is a whole nother area right here that is another like bunching of a ton of stuff to do. So there's IKEA. IKEA right here, Top Golf. There is a new Forum Event Center that is Forum's Event Center, but there's also now Fisher's Event Center that can house 7,500 people. There is, again, hotels that you can stay in. This whole area right here is all shopping and dining. So you've got an ice cream shop, you've got bougie restaurants like 1933, and which is really there. If you're familiar with St. Elmo's, this is a spinoff essentially of St. Elmo's called 1933 Lounge. They do have the same St. Elmo's cocktail sauce. So if you go, I highly recommend that you get the shrimp cocktail because their cocktail sauce is amazing. If you like horseradish, if you don't like horseradish, then you're not gonna like it. But the vibe is really, really cool. Torchy's Tacos, there's a Kroger. So if I zoom out just a little bit, you can see Kroger is right there. And there's still land. So that's what's amazing is there's still land. LA Fitness is right there. There's an Aldi's right there. There's just, and there's still land. That's what I was saying is there's still so much that can be put into these little pockets of Fishers that are still being developed. So now I'm going to go a little bit more. So now we're going to talk. I kind of did that. I went across the street and then went south. We're going to keep going south. Fishers Elementary School, 116th Street that goes again all the way. I got to pull out because, okay, we're going to go back to this screen so you can see kind of the dotted line. So you see 116th Street. Like I said, 116th Street. I can't talk. I've been saying 116th too much. You can go all the way to Carmel. Okay. I'm not always going to recommend that's the way that I would go. But that is a prominent way to get to Carmel. But 116th Street, as you head west, you're going to cross Allisonville Road. This is another area that I'm going to say has got tons to do, like shopping, dining, hardware store, fitness store, all sorts of stuff. Yummy Bowl, Kroger. Oh, I went too far. Pet supply store, Starbucks, apartment complexes, Sam's Restaurant, which is a locally owned restaurant that's been here forever. The Roost is a great breakfast place to go to if you're here and you want to go to breakfast. So I've mentioned 3 now. Another Broken Egg, Cafe Patachou, and then The Roost. All 3 great breakfast place. That doesn't mean that's the only 3 breakfast places because there's a ton and I could keep going, but that kind of gives you an idea. Allisonville Road is also one of those main thoroughfares that goes all the way. You can see how that goes all the way up into Noblesville and then goes all the way. You can technically take Allisonville all the way. It crosses with Fall Creek Boulevard, but you can pretty much go all the way to downtown. So see how that goes all the way. So this is Allisonville Road. So if you're living on the quote west side of Fishers, you're super close to jump on any road and be able to get to downtown, to Carmel, to 96th Street, to Noblesville. It's easy accessibility. There's another golf course over here, River Glen Golf Course. So again, depending on what side of town, you've got a golf course for you golfers. Ritchie Woods Nature Preserve, another local Fishers park. There's also the Humane Society right across the street. A beautiful facility. If you are wanting to volunteer, great facility, or even adopt a pet. They have a great program over there. So this is, I'm going to go back. This is 96th Street. Remember, 96th Street goes all the way to Geist, all the way out. I mean, it just keeps going. Anyways, Fortville, everything. Allisonville and 96th Street is another corridor where there's shopping and dining, and even in between 69, so Interstate 69 and Allisonville, again, there's there's Meijer and Home Depot and Sam's and Menards and I'm just so much. And then one of the bonuses that is coming in and is getting put right here is the new Andretti building. So all I'm saying is if you're looking at Fishers, I don't think you can be on the wrong side of town. Because if you're over here, you have tons of activities, shopping, dining, because there's a grocery store, right? Kroger is here, Costco is here, Meijer is here. There's so much. Walmart Center, so much. Dining, you have tons of dining. I would say the majority of the higher end dining is going to be in that 116th Street corridor, so right here. But as you can see, it's kind of in. I say it's in the middle. I know it's not technically in the middle if you live on the far east side of Fishers, but that's why there's so much that is in this oleo corridor that is really, really great, right? Salt, love salt. So I don't, like I said just a second ago, I don't think there is a bad side of town. It depends on what you're looking for. You can get to almost anything depending on where you live. You can get to any amenity that you would want in about 5 or 10 minutes. If you're wanting to get from, if you're working in Carmel, I might not recommend you live all the way on the far east side of Fishers. Maybe look to be on the other side of 37 or 69. So maybe look here so that you're still Fishers, but you can get to Carmel. Again, same as if you work in Noblesville. I don't know if I would suggest being, down here in this corridor because it's going to take you a farther drive to get to downtown Noblesville. But can you do it in 20, 25 minutes? Yes. And I think that's the thing that I hear the most, especially with relocation clients. And maybe that's you. Maybe you're considering relocating to the area and you're trying to figure out, okay, where do I want to be? Again, I don't think that there is a bad area. And what some people might think is a far drive, right? So sometimes I'll mention to a client, oh, it's because I've lived here for a long time. I'm like, oh, it's 25 minutes. And 25 minutes to someone who can get anywhere in about 5 minutes seems like a long way. But to them, they're like, well, that's easy. That's a no-brainer. 25 minutes is close. And so you just have to weigh out what specifically you want. Because I have other clients, like the one that we met with the other day, that said, I want to be able to get to everything that I need. Now, he works from home, so he wants to be able to get to everything that he needs and only have to drive 5 minutes. Well, that is the beauty of living in Fishers. It's the beauty, honestly, of living in Carmel, Fishers, Noblesville, or Westfield. If you live in Hamilton County, this is about how it's going to feel. And I will do a video. Tell me in the comments below if you want me to do a video for each of the cities. So, okay, yes, I did Fishers, but do you want me to do an in-depth kind of like image and or go through a Google Maps to show you where everything is? I have found a lot of my clients like this type of view because it's hard when you're not from here. You don't know where things are. You don't know how far is it from here to there? Is that 20 minutes? Is that 5 minutes? And so if you want me to do this same type of video for Noblesville or Westfield or Carmel, we're planning on doing that, but I'd like to kind of hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do you like this type of video, or are you watching this and saying, hey, Cameron, shut up. You're not really telling me anything that I care to know. I think if you've made it this far in the video, you probably are fully in. But anyways, let me know what your thoughts are. So if you're looking at all of this and you are interested in Fishers, but you're wondering, I know I kind of hit on, this is kind of where most of the new construction is, but you're wanting, okay, Cameron, I like older homes. I am going to go back to that Roy G. Holland or Sunblest community or downtown Fishers. That's where you're going to find more of the older styled homes. You've got some of that out in Geist just because, again, Geist was a reservoir and they built up. So there are some neighborhoods out here that are kind of those older homes. But if you're curious and you kind of want to know what, compared to what you currently have and what you're looking for in Fishers or Hamilton County, My contact information is below. Here's the thing, I will always tell you, when you call me, you get me, right? So I'm not a big team. It's me and my husband. He's the one that's behind the camera. And when you call me, you get me. So please call me because I want to be able to talk to you. And I'm going to ask you questions about your day. What do you do in a day? What are the things you want to visit? And then I'll try to point you in the right direction as to what part of Fishers is going to be a good fit for you. And if you decide to come visit, make sure to message me and I'll send you my Google Maps that kind of walks you through each of the different areas so that you can kind of explore the area. Thanks for joining me on this crazy map tour of Fishers, Indiana. I hope it gave you kind of a better idea of what makes this area such a fantastic place to live. If you have any questions or want to learn more about moving to Fishers or any of the areas that I've mentioned, feel free to reach out. Again, like I said a moment ago, you get me when you call me. So give me a call. I'd love to help. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content about life in Hamilton County, and share this with anyone thinking about making a move. If you still want to learn more about moving to the Fishers area, here's a video I think you might like. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.